It's Red Eye Radio. Gary McNamara and Eric Harley talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day. Whether you're up late or you're just starting your day, welcome to the show. From the Uniden America Studios, this is Red Eye Radio.
All across America. We are Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Good morning. All right. You know, I saw the headline, and then I delved a little bit into the story.
Yeah?
That story that Glamour UK magazine found itself in a bunch of controversy when the British magazine announced that it would give its annual award for the 2025 Women of the Year to all men.
It was bound to happen.
But the way
Glamour.
Brittany Bernstein wrote it in National Review was just great. Just the way she wrote it. Sometimes writing, I don't know why I get so much pleasure out of great writing.
Yeah, me too.
Last week, Glamour UK found itself on the receiving end of a backlash from women at home and abroad when it made the decision to feature 9 men on the cover of its 2025 Women of the Year issue. The British magazine announced it would give the annual award to 9 transgender-identifying women described as trailblazers who work tirelessly to empower, uplift, and celebrate trans voices. The group of biological men, who the magazine calls the Dolls, includes models. Isn't that transphobic? Includes models, activists, writers, actors, and more. Author J.K. Rowling, a leading voice for women's rights and against transgenderism in the UK, was immediately critical of the decision. Quote, I grew up in an era when mainstream women's magazines told girls they needed to be thinner and prettier. Now mainstream women's magazines tell girls that men are better women than we are.
Well, come on, ladies, aren't we? I love it, though. I mean, that's great writing, by the way. But it was always bound to get here, wasn't it? I mean, we were headed this direction.
The affection of British women's magazines seems to be reserved for men who identify as women. Those males who identify as men should be avoided, according to a recent column in British Vogue, which argued that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. That was making it on social media the last couple of days. That out there. The column claims young people are distancing themselves from traditional relationships and at times are even working to maintain a single image online, even if they are in a relationship. Why?
Why?
Because having a relationship with a boy is embarrassing.
I love it.
On the Delusional Diaries podcast, fronted by 2 New York-based influencers, Haley and Jazz, they discuss whether having a boyfriend is lame now. Joseph wrote, one of the top comments on the podcast, which Joseph includes in her piece, they're transgender. Why does having a boyfriend feel so Republican?
What? Oh, my gosh.
The Vogue writer's observation comes after Atlantic writer Faith Hill told CNN earlier this year that men's political shift to the right has made dating less appealing. Well, except for New York City, where men seem to be supporting Mamdani and women, Cuomo.
Yeah. And let's all remember why Cuomo's no longer governor. Seriously. Wow.
I think a lot of women in particular, it can just sort of feel like this is not the time where I trust men. I feel respected by men. I don't necessarily want to go out and meet strangers who are men, Hill said. Now, they're both transgenders who said that. So the entire point is date a transgender man.
All right.
Did you hear the big, the quote, big controversy? Don Lemon saying that Megyn Kelly looks trans. Isn't that transphobic?
Yeah, what is that supposed to mean?
Yeah. Isn't that transphobic?
Right. What is it supposed to mean? Tell me, Don, what does trans look like?
Yeah. He's losing it.
He really is.
I get the biggest kick of soon as if we ended this show today and we didn't work for a large corporation as we did,
right,
and we did a podcast, would we be any different?
No.
Not one.
No.
Would Don Lemon have said that if he worked at CNN? No.
No.
Would have never said that.
No.
But I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know what working at CNN means anymore.
She looks trans. Are you saying she looks male?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
What does trans look like? What do you mean? She wears makeup like most other women? I don't know what that means. She wears women's clothes like most other women?
That she's a man?
She has long hair?
That she's a man
like
who is
many other women?
That she's a man who identifies as a woman? What does it mean?
I don't
when you
get
say
it.
somebody looks remember, that came from Don Lemon.
Yeah.
The ultimate liberal.
Yes. Who's been known to cross the line a couple of times.
Yeah, I just the best ever though. The best.
By the way, is
ever.
he jealous on her getting her satellite radio, her own satellite radio channel?
Yeah.
You know, because that's a big deal.
Yeah, nobody wants to hire him.
Nobody wants to hire him. Yeah.
He shouldn't have any problems though if he saved his money, if he lived beneath his means.
I would think.
Right? You'd think
He was highly overpaid for a long time.
Yes.
You got to save that. You have to know it's coming to an end at some point.
Do you realize what you were doing? The favorite still of all time was going back to the airliner crash.
Yeah, the Malaysia Airlines.
The Malaysia airliner crash,
Mm-hmm.
and the best part about that segment was when he had Mary Shivo on, one of the leading experts on airplane crashes and XNTSB people and all this and all the top experts. And they had to workshop this.
Yeah.
They had a meeting about it because they had, they had the crawl underneath. They had everything set for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the plane, again, was, missing. And he said, do you think it could have been a black hole? Our listeners our viewers are wondering, was it a black hole? And you and I both saw it. And anybody who knows any basics about science and rolled over in hysteria saying, I can't believe he's going there.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, how embarrassing, how embarrassing, how embarrassing.
Right.
Because if there was a black hole, he wouldn't be reporting it.
Yeah, because we'd all be gone.
The solar system would be gone.
Yeah.
There'd be nothing there.
Yeah.
And Mary Shivo, never forget, I'm telling you, she
Takes
was
a ton of patience and kindness in how she responded.
She was as diplomatic. She goes, well, even if it was a very small black hole, the size of and again, I don't remember exactly what she said, but what she was pointing out, as big as a pin, whatever, would suck in the entire Earth and solar system. So no, that probably isn't it.
Yeah.
But he made such a big deal on it, and we just always thought that was his dumbest moment. And what I wonder is, could you imagine you and I in that position where you're in the meeting? Well, look, we have some of these listeners that are stating the fact that they think it's a black hole. Let's go on, and I want you need to ask the experts about whether it could be a black hole. What would our response have been?
No.
No, you do it.
Yeah, I'm not. No.
That's
Look.
Enabling stupidity.
Yeah, exactly. I work hard to not sound stupid, which is really hard.
But did he not
Don't
know?
make me sound stupid on purpose.
My point is, did he not know? Did he not know the basic thing about a black hole? Because I am no expert in, astrophysics.
Yeah.
But I know what a black hole does in the universe. It sucks up solar systems. It sucks up stars. To have the concept that a tiny black hole sucked in an airplane and nothing else.
Well, it's, one of the other, I don't know, can we say conspiracy theories now? But at that time, it was a strong conspiracy theory is that it landed somewhere and then it was put into like a secret hangar. And I forget why it was landed. Somebody controlled the flight and
I remember that.
It landed somewhere and it's being held secretly or
I remember
something.
That one,
And you could have gone that direction. What's the likelihood this plane is still intact somewhere?
0.
Well, because what's the big thing that, that in fact we haven't been able to explore all of right here on Earth? I like to call it the ocean, which was underneath that airliner. And you look at likelihoods, and you don't have to be Ms. Shivo to look at likelihoods and say, it's probably down there somewhere.
Yeah, what are the odds?
By the time he had her on to interview her.
Oh, by the way, one of the best things I saw in the last couple of days on X, this cartoon with the headline, 40 people die in the flat earth surfing contest. There's these people on surfboards, and the surfs are on the waves.
Just falling off.
Then it just drops off.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
We are Red Eye Radio.
Brought to you by FPPF, Fuel Power Max.
Managing time is key. Successful owner-operators know that simply running hard is not enough. If it were that easy, anyone could do the job and expect the profits to roll in. It generally pays to slow down. There is a trade-off in higher costs, not to mention the increased risk for driving fast. If driving slower takes time away from you, you could find some of the ways to get it back. Never take time off during the last 2 weeks of the quarter or the last week of the month, when freight typically is abundant. Sometimes it works to your advantage to look for loads that take you through home rather than to home. The latter can interrupt your revenue stream and require additional time to get back up to full speed again. Owner-Operator Business 101 is provided by Overdrive's Partners in Business program. Go to overdriveonline.com to the Partners in Business section of the website for more details on this and many other topics. Brought to you by Shell Rotella, with advanced synthetic technology is designed to help keep your rig running with more mileage and less maintenance.
Get in touch with Red Eye Radio, toll free at 866-90-RED-EYE.
We are Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Carly, and I'm Gary McNamara. This was really interesting, Eric. I'm amazed this didn't get more publicity. Federal prosecutors revealed Monday that they have unearthed a trove of personal emails showing that then FBI Director James Comey openly talked in the days before the 2016 election that he expected to be working soon for President-elect Hillary Clinton and was being kept apprised by a top FBI aides on efforts to anonymously provide information to the news media. Well done, my friend. Who knew this would be so much fun, Comey wrote in an early November 2016 email after then FBI Special Government employee Dan Richman briefed the FBI director on Richman's efforts to provide information and guidance to the New York Times on an article involving the Clinton email scandal. The emails were referenced in a bombshell court filing, haven't used that word in a while, by acting U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan and her deputy, Tyler Lemons, in which the government rejected Comey's argument that he was being maliciously prosecuted for misleading Congress about actions he took as FBI director. Halligan cited and attached to the filing numerous emails in which Comey was clearly aware that Richmond was working to provide information anonymously to news outlets about the Clinton email case and that he expected those outreach efforts would end with Clinton defeating Donald Trump in the November 2016 election. Someday they will figure it out, and as Individual 1 and Individual 2 point out, my decision will be one a President-elect Clinton will be very grateful for, although that wasn't why I did it, Comey wrote Richmond in one such email in late October of 2016. Halligan's filings of the emails showed Comey was aware of and encouraging Richmond's contacts with the media, contrary to his claims to Congress. Consistent with the above described correspondence, Richmond corresponded extensively with members of the media regarding or on behalf of the defendant, including in an anonymous capacity. Comey is charged with making false statements and obstructing Congress concerning testimony in 2020, in which he stood by an earlier 2017 testimony saying he did not approve of anonymous leaks to news media on high-profile cases involving Clinton's emails and Donald Trump's now debunked ties to the Russian plot to influence the election. Richmond, a former Department of Justice official and current law professor at Columbia University Law School, was assisting the FBI during the 2016 election, and it was already public knowledge that Richmond later assisted Comey by leaking the so-called Comey memos to the New York Times in 2017 after Comey's firing by President Trump. Monday's court filing also raises a possibility that prosecutors will argue Comey misled Congress about another element of his testimony, this involving whether he was aware of a U.S. intelligence report intercept in summer 2016 indicating Clinton had approved a plan to smear Trump with Russia allegations. Well, he did know. I thought he did know that.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah. The court filing revealed prosecutors have specific handwritten notes which were hidden in a secret room at the FBI, indicating Comey was aware of the intelligence. We'll have more coming up.
Observing and analyzing the insanity. Eric Harley and Gary McNamara. Nightly on Red Eye Radio.
And he is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Download our Red Eye Radio app today, and you can listen when and where you choose. So, yeah, John Solomon talking about the release. He was on Hannity last night also. So Fox News is now reporting the story. But it's the 5 bombshells. I haven't said that in a while, I have. Well, last time we were using the word bombshells all the time, it wasn't true, and it was against Trump, remember?
Right. Yeah.
But the bombshells revealed by the Department of Justice against James Comey, number one, while massaging the email of the media about Clinton's personal email scandal, Comey was using personal email himself.
You said massaging. You mean messaging?
It says massaging. No, it says massaging.
Oh,
Massaging
so he
the
was
media.
working the media.
Working the media,
All
right. Yeah.
Because sometimes massaging the media means something else. I'm going to write myself a legal note on that one.
Number 2, he expected Hillary to win and would be grateful about the way he was handling her email case. You know, when I saw that one, I went, ooh, I'm a prosecutor. I can use that for intent.
Yeah?
It's clear that he directed Professor Richmond and approved the leaks to the media. Some of the documents they found were in burn bags in the secret room at the FBI. His own notes show he knew about the Clinton plan to smear Trump as a Russian agent. Solomon said it's a bad day for Comey. He was hit by a boomerang today. And the reason that he was is, you know, when we looked at that case, and again, we didn't know when it first came out about when he's, you know, the leaks, that if they were going to use McCabe for the witness. If he was using McCabe and that was the only thing that they had was McCabe as the witness, we said there's probably a problem there because McCabe is saying, well, that's not what I meant now.
Right.
And so we went, McCabe would be a hostile witness at best.
At best. And good luck with that.
And we said, unless it's all Richmond, which apparently, I don't know if it's all Richmond, but apparently by the Department of Justice, they're looking to strike back at Comey saying this is just a malicious prosecution by saying, we've got it in your own handwriting.
Yeah.
And so you look at, and again, I don't know everything. We're not making a judgment here. We never do on these things because we don't know how much of the evidence we have. But this does completely change the direction of anybody who's been paying attention to this issue, including the arguments that you can use before a jury.
Right. Right. Yeah.
That, you know, and he expected Hillary to win and she would be grateful. Not that that's the reason I did it, but she'll be grateful. But you put that in, that's motivation. I can stay on.
Yeah. Right.
I can stay on. You know, and the other thing is, with that combined with his own notes show that he knew Clinton and the plan to smear Trump as a Russian agent, we had already put that together. You and I put that together already.
Yeah,
we said,
yeah.
Well, wait a minute. You know, if he was if he was talking about Clinton's personal emails and he was leaking it and he knew of Clinton's plan to smear Trump, well, that shows that he's possibly part of a conspiracy to set up Trump. And you put that on top of the fact that he wouldn't go after her. He made the decision as a law enforcement officer that the prosecutor was supposed to make, saying no reasonable prosecutor would go after Hillary. Well, you weren't a prosecutor.
Right.
You take all those and add them up. That's not good for the FBI director.
No.
And
No.
you've just strengthened Bondi's Department of Justice case against you. Whether it's enough, I don't know, but you've definitely strengthened the case. And it's clear that he directed, as John Solomon said, the other thing, it's clear through the emails he directed Richmond and approved of all the leaks to the media and believed that it would help him and that Hillary would be grateful for him doing it.
You know, and that part of it, a president-elect Hillary would be grateful, is so Comey-esque. Right? He's going to be the hero. That's not the reason I do it. Yeah, it is.
Well, the thing is, if he got in a good favor with Hillary, just think how many 3-day weekends he could have taken the FBI jet to go see Taylor Swift.
Yeah. He could have gone on a whole tour probably if he had had a higher loyalty. I mean, the whole thing's just, again, from the get-go, you know it when you hear it. His phrasing. How weird James Comey is. Start there. A president-elect Hillary Clinton would be grateful. What? What? I mean, it shows us where his higher loyalty ultimately was. Oh, that's not the reason I do it. Yeah. But that part of it right there is so Comey-esque. And we've been watching this bizarre behavior for years now. It's interesting and good work for Solomon and by the way, who's been on the whole thing pretty much from the beginning.
Well, they released the emails and he decided to publicize it. I'm like, why didn't a bunch of other media?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Right.
I wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now for some fun. All right, you got to have fun. I mean, things are serious, and we look at some of the elections going on tomorrow. May not go the Republicans' way.
Yeah.
May not go the Democrats' way.
Wow.
In New York City, may be going the Democrats' way. I don't know.
Yeah.
The jury's still out on that one. But
which side of the Democrats?
Yeah. Well, it fits right into this. Piers Morgan explaining why the Democrats are casting out moderate liberals like him in favor of socialists is going to be a disaster for the party. Here he is on the 5 yesterday. This is funny. It's just great. It's just great the frustration that he has. Here we go.
At this point,
I have literally written a book about it.
It seems kind of irrelevant right now.
Well, it's interesting. I've written this book called Woke is Dead, and people say, well, it's not dead. I said, no, it's not dead. Because the people who perpetrate it don't actually realize everybody else has killed it off. When I watch Obama, when I watch Mamdani, when I watch AOC, I watch all this thing. What I'm actually seeing is a very weird existential crisis for the Democrats, I think. You have a liberal chair here. Mm-hmm. And it's great, right? You have somebody here that disagrees with all you guys. And I get put in this chair, but I'm kind of nothing to do with where the liberals have gone. I have nothing in common with the progressive left whatsoever, with wokeism. You're going to need 2 chairs here. Yeah. You're going to need old-fashioned people who identified as liberals, Bill Maher, Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, RFK. There's a whole load of people, people who would have happily said, I'm a liberal, but who now think, well, that doesn't describe what liberalism is to me. They've become the new fascists. And the idea that New York will now be run by a genuine socialist is extraordinary to me, but also a massive political gift to the Republicans. Because if he gets to become mayor of New York, it cannot work what he's proposing. You cannot just give everything away without actually making other people pay for it. People are going to get taxed to hell in New York, and this will become a referendum on the Democrats. But meanwhile, he's the most charismatic person they have. And so he's out there as the flag waver now for the Democrats. That's a disaster for them politically, I think. They need desperately somebody to come through in the center ground, center left, somebody who can actually reach out to appeal to a cross-section of Americans. That's not Mamdani, but he's now the face of the party. So Obama's come out, and of course he knows this. That's why he's not endorsing him.
Right.
And then you look at Obama, and I did laugh at the DI stuff. He's a good, charismatic talker, always was. But the idea that he puts his moral halo on about Trump is pretty nauseating. This is the guy who was the bomber in chief. I think I'm right in saying that he dropped a bomb every 3 hours when he was president of the United States. More bombs in 1 year and more often illegal drone programs than have been run by any other president in history. He was also the deporter in chief, let's not forget, deported 3 million people in his 8 years. And yet here he is with this moral halo. He was so concerned about the law that when he campaigned in 2008 over closing Guantanamo Bay, at the end of his 8 years in power, it was still open. So, it's a bit of a phony, Barack Obama. And I think that applies to all of them. I think Mamdani's a phony. He's a guy that wanted to defund the NYPD, called them a bunch of racists. Now he says, I didn't mean it. You look at someone like Gavin Newsom, who says, I never use any of that woke stuff. I never said Latinx. And then we find 1,000 examples of him saying Latinx and so on. They are a bunch of phonies. And until they find somebody who's authentic, Trump, for them, because Trump, whether you love him or hate him, he is incredibly authentic.
That is true.
No, I mean, it's a different way of saying what I think we have said. And what's weird is this was what I was saying in that weird dream I had over the weekend where you and I were broadcasting outside on the sidewalk outside Trump Tower in New York. And we were talking about the president, and I was saying, look, the guy will talk to anybody and say what you will, but he's strong on national defense. And, we were just going over things. And then he walked out and wanted to go on with us. But we've said it. What you see is what you get. Hyperbole, all right, it belongs everywhere. You can compare him to Don King in the way, it's greatest ever. It's never been done before. Okay, hyperbole. All right, set that aside.
Yeah, but the problem is he's the only one doing it.
That's exactly. That's what I.
That's sarcasm,
where I started.
Folks.
Yeah, right. Hyperbole is everywhere.
Yeah.
Our billions of listeners know that, and they also know we never use hyperbole.
Trillions
of listeners. You can't prove it. What are you, a cop? And those are the things you look at with the Donald Trump is, and that hasn't changed in all of the years. Go back and watch. I did this actually recently. I think it was when we were on vacation. I just watched a few older interviews. I think one was Larry King. Hey, Larry, do you mind backing up? Your breath smells really bad. Anybody ever tell you that? What you're going to get every time you're going to get Donald Trump. These fakes on the left are pretending. They're pretending all the time. Their party does a 180 over several years on a number of issues. Why? They're trying to fit in. Donald Trump doesn't care about fitting in. Like him, hate him, love him, doesn't matter. He's been the same. He's been consistent.
That's why we said
Forever.
Governor Hochul giving the conservative argument against raising taxes in New York.
Right.
On the rich.
Right.
And no one has attacked her.
No one.
I haven't heard anyone go after her at all.
Right.
There would be outrage if a conservative said it. You and I said it a long time ago. What do Democrats actually believe?
Right.
Power.
Yep, that's it.
866-90 Red Eye.
Coming up, more with Gary McNamara and Eric Harley. It's Red Eye Radio.
here, Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Carney, and I'm Gary McNamara. To prove our point that only Trump does over-the-top rhetoric, Nancy Pelosi yesterday on Trump, he's a vile creature. He's the worst thing on the face of the earth. End of quote.
The worst thing.
The worst thing on the face of the earth.
The worst thing.
The worst. There's nothing worse on the face of the earth
Nothing.
than Donald Trump.
Yeah, nothing.
No over-the-top rhetoric at all from Democrats.
Yeah. None. No hyperbole whatsoever.
None.
Yeah.
My next question. So why do you believe that Kim Jong-un is better?
Right, exactly. Hey, we have a few questions for you, Nancy.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.